who comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, second episode today, huh? Hey, Jill. Good to see you. You popped on Instagram. I didn't see you. Good afternoon. Looks like we got some people. Deep breath. Hold on. It's been nice because I've actually been able to breathe today. Hey, Corey. Hey, Corey on. Dude. I did. Thanks, dude. You guys have probably noticed the cats are back. So, good afternoon, honey. So, yeah, I wanted to come back on. I came on a little bit earlier, but I just didn't feel like it was enough. I feel like there's a certain amount of myself that I need to give each day. What does the chat say? What are you doing? I was back on going to watch a movie. Go watch your movie, man. I ain't stopping you. Thanks. I appreciate the humor. But yes, if you're here, it says Facebook user, so I'm presuming this is Shane or somebody giving me a hard time, per as usual. Doesn't always pop up for me. I'm trying to figure out who it is, but nope. All right. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately about, what our comfort zone is, right? And I've found that usually if I'm uncomfortable, I'm probably changing. Hey, Paul. Okay. All right. What movie were you going to watch? I'm just curious. But sometimes, when things are going good, when things are going well for us, we tend to sit in that comfort zone, right? That's natural human behavior, I think. I'm going to turn the fan off. It's a little too today. And sometimes when those things are going good, we just don't recognize that maybe we need to be getting out of ourselves. And actually, when things are going well, is a great time to get out of your comfort zone. It's a great time to do it because you're comfortable, right? So it should be a little bit easier. It should be a little bit easier. Oh, okay. Lots of movement. It's itching. Ooh, it's starting to itch. That's good. That's a good sign. But sometimes we need to make ourselves move on to that next part in our lives, right? And these are decisions that we make when we've had a little bit of time in the program. Maybe we have a couple of years under our belt now, but it just doesn't feel like it should, right? That usually means that there's some work that needs to be done, right? And since this is a day-to-day program, you can say it one day at a time, but for me, it's a day-to-day program. So in other words, I'm not going to be able to stay sober off my successes from yesterday. Jill says we grow when we get out of our comfort zone, and that's exactly what I'm going for. She is spot on with that. But you'll find sometimes in your life that it's you that needs to motivate yourself to do that. And that could be hard to recognize sometimes. It can, because we've been taught certain ways. I've worked with thousands. I've had conversations with thousands and thousands of people in all different types of this world, okay? I've drank with the drunks under the bridges, and I partied with the most popular, and I'm going to tell you, they're all the same. They're all the same, man. When it comes down to it, we always follow a certain pattern because of what goes on in here. right? Now, I'm not saying don't enjoy that comfort zone because that can feel good, huh? Yeah, it does. And it's one of those highs that we get for being in the program. I'm going to read something out of As Bill Sees It, too, which Jill gave me, right? All right. When we reached AA for the first time in our lives, stood among people who seemed to understand, the sense of belonging was tremendously exciting. We thought isolation problems had been solved, right? And it's a really good start, right? We're finding around some people that understand where we're coming from, which means that those denial blocks have been put down now. That means that when it comes to the first step, we can say, yeah, I'm a drunk and my life is unmanageable. Is my life any more manageable today? I don't know, because that's something that God takes care of for me. Right? I show up and do what it is that I'm supposed to do. And sometimes that can be finding your passion and what you really want to go after can be it. Right? So what are your passions? Think about that stuff. Okay? Because the better you are, the more you get to pass on. The more you learn, the more you understand, the more you teach, the more you will grow, and the bigger your cup will become. Okay? Be careful. Do not overextend yourself. See, that's what I tend to do. Like my wife will be like, no, you're done, Dion. Are you working? Yeah. But soon we discovered that while we weren't alone anymore in a social sense, we still suffered many of the old pains and anxious apartness. Who here has a fear of abandonment? Hello. Feel like I'm in a parade here. Hello. We all do. We all have a fear of abandonment. It's okay. And I'm using that because we all know it. Okay, because it's a universal it's a universal feeling. Nobody likes to feel like they don't belong, no matter who it is. Nobody likes to be the outcast. Nobody necessarily enjoys being the odd duck until they understand that it's just okay to be an odd duck. Quack, motherfucker. Right? Quack, quack, motherfuckers. I don't know where that came from. Until we had talked with complete candor of our conflicts and had listened to someone else do the same thing, we still didn't belong. Jill's texted too fast. But she's agreeing with us that she's raising her head too. So, yeah, until we had talked with complete candor of our conflicts and had listened to someone else's, seems like my connection's going down. It's probably YouTube. We still didn't belong. All right. It's kind of like when you get a new car. And I'm sorry, I know that it's actually on Facebook, so might get a little choppy on Facebook, guys. I'm sorry. I can tell because my camera's not catching up as quick. It's kind of like when you buy a new car. It's not cool until somebody else sees it, right? I just bought a new car, parked it in and it felt really cool until my friend comes over, is like, "Oh, that's a cool car, man," and somebody else gets to enjoy it, right? Let's take all that away. Would you still absolutely enjoy it like you did? No. Yeah, it'd be impossible because that other factor isn't there. So you wouldn't be able to. You would be naive. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being naive. Step 5 was the answer. It was the beginning of a true kinship with man and God. And I had just pulled that out. And I'd really like to, I'm just going to go through that and read it. So once we get past the 12 steps, it tells us that we need to go out and seek God now. All right. So do you go out and seek God? Are you looking for him when you're driving around and yelling at that person for cutting you off or the other things? Do you really feel like you need to go through that in order for your day to be okay? Because you realize you're putting it on yourself. That person that cut you off doesn't even know who the fuck you are. And you probably did something. Who knows? Maybe you're a jerk driver. I try and be a kind driver. If I'm pulling up to a red light, I get in the left-hand lane if I ain't turning. And I kind of give way. Why? I don't see any reason in cussing somebody out and having them pull a gun on me. No thanks. So that's a matter of picking your bottles. Ooh, talk about a slip. Freudian slip, huh? And so how do you know when it's time? Hey, Gary. If it came across your mind, it's time. You use that intuition, man. Do you feel that it's right for you? Where does the intuition sit? In the tummy. Oh, my tummy hurts. That's not a good decision. I ask the people that all the time. Dion, I'm going through this. What do you think is the right answer? Well, what does your tummy tell you? What did you guys say to me? What does your tummy tell you? Go back to being 2 years old. Fine, do it. If that's how you need to make a decision, I do it. Fuck. So, here's the thing. There is so much out there for everyone. And one person can make a difference. Maybe not changing the whole world, but what about your community, man? Think about just your little community there. God lives in my heart as I connect God every day, thereby seeking God every day. Thank you, Joe. And so what do we do each day? Are we finding God in other people? That's really where it starts to come down to, right? Because there's a lot of outside sources out there. They're going to interfere. Okay? And we know what that is. I mean, you call it devil, you call it whatever you want. Maybe he's trying to step into your house. It ain't going to happen in my world, man. Sorry today. Sorry, devil, not today. What are we really trying to get out of it? What is it that you want out of AA? What is it that you want out of recovery? Because it's available for you. See, the great thing is God is everything. That means there is nothing in this world that he can't provide you with. It's what you do with what he gives you that matters to you. Right? It's kind of like if you're not going through something yourself, it's kind of hard to see somebody else going through it, right? Or if you've never been through it yourself, it might be hard to sympathize or empathize with that person. But I guarantee you have felt that same feeling somehow, no matter where you've been, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, right? You are who you are, and you get to be proud of that. So laying claim to your progress is important. What we say to ourselves is important. That's something I kind of wanted to bring up real quick. And all my friends that are listening, stop fucking calling yourself names. Stop it. I see a lot of people coming on saying, a post is it's a little negative or whatever, but you're calling yourself a name, and it's just you're more than that. You're bigger than that. And I get it. Heck, I was the poster child of PTSD for a while, guys. That's all I came on here and talked about. Well, until somebody came along and said, Dion, quit being the poster child, dude. And they were right. So I stopped doing it. There we go. And Corey's got it. Don't talk about my friend like that. I was waiting for that. And Jill got it too. We are enough. And all in caps. You're enough today. You're more than enough. And you do have it. What are you going to do with it? You're going to get out of your fucking comfort zone. Yeah. When I started this, it was very much outside of my comfort zone. All right. And it's not the same that it was 3 years ago. For a while there, nobody was listening. It was a rewatch kind of a thing for everyone. And that's how it worked. Because that's how it should work. Because that's what God said. And God says this, and then he gives me the guidance, and then he gives me the gifts. And it's fucking amazing. And I said this earlier, I've broken down twice in the last 24 hours because I feel grateful. I feel enough. And the world just becomes more and more beautiful every day. And I see more and more every day. Makes me want more because that's the kind of person I am, right? But I got my gift today. I don't need to worry about it. I'm sober. I'm here. I'm available. I get to hear things. I get to have friendships. I get to loan people my car. Fuck, 6 months ago, I didn't even have a car, let alone a license. I can't drive it right now. Friend needs help. I don't care. I ain't going to let my friends walk around in the snow with their kids. I spent 90% of my adult life on the bus. Fuck that with kids. Sorry. Mm-mm. All right. Good stuff. That really is about all I had on, well, 18 minutes worth, I guess, isn't all. I guess still a lot, but take everything for what it is. And it usually is a gift. I just went through a month. And people are like, "Dion, you look a lot better. You weren't looking very well." But part of what I do here is show you what we do by example. I still hit my meetings. I still went to meetings because I need them. I need that contact with other people because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel a part of. And that's exactly why we're here. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you've come from. You are always welcome. Right? Why? Because I have no right to judge anyone. None. That right was not given to me. I have a right to drive. I have a right to vote. But I do not have a right to judge what you are doing. Look what happens when I point at you. I had 3 fingers pointing right back at me. What does it usually mean when we're pointing our finger at somebody? I'm guilty of this too, and I'm sure I'll be guilty of it next week. It usually means they're doing something that we don't like that we do. So keep an eye on that. Remember, this is about you, not everybody else. Because until you are okay Let's just read page 164 and call it. Right? Because that's what I'm talking on right now. So let's just do that. And I did a lot of AA stuff, so I'm not putting up any of the donation stuff because I don't think it's appropriate. Okay. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize we know only a little. So we just went through 164 pages. And now they're saying, we only gave you a little bit of it because we've only understood a little bit of it. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Okay. God is so infinite that you will never understand it all. You won't. That's why you get to learn every single day, no matter how old you are. Because we're all children of God. God doesn't have grandchildren. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do for the man who is still sick. Does that mean that person has to have alcoholism in for you to talk to them? Nah. God's going to put all sorts of things in your life. Grandchildren, cousins, family, right? The friendships that we have going on. The answers will come. Here's the key. If your own house is in order. This is exactly why we're talking about what we're talking about. Okay? That is the line of you can't, well, the next line is you can't transmit something you don't have. Period. If you do not have true happiness and joy in your life, you cannot transmit it. I used to have an example for this, and it was based around STDs, right? Very funny in the 90s. Nobody likes it now. They're like, don't use that one. So if you ever want to hear it, I'll tell it to you personally. But I find it funny. So, but obviously you can't transmit something you got. See to it that your relationship with him is right. See to it. And it's pretty simple. Because God doesn't make very big demands. He doesn't. It is probably the easiest relationship I've ever had once you get to a certain point, right? See to it that your relationship with right and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is a great fact for us, and that is fact, and it is true. It is true. I am amazed that some of the people that listen to me it amazes me. It does. And it is fact. And I can truly rely upon what they're saying with that, right? All right. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. Those are more directions. Join us. Join us. Quit fighting it. Quit setting yourself apart and come join us. Because it isn't going to matter what everybody else is doing as long as you're staying in your own lane. That's right. We put more demands on ourselves than what God asks us of us. Thank you, Gary. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God and bless you. May God bless and keep you until then. Thank you guys for being here for the last 25 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go. That way Paula can go watch her movie. But thanks for being here, guys. Gary, it was good to see you. Corey, like I said, Paula, I'm just checking my Instagram here, Facebook, and then we got Jill on Instagram. So, all right. See, there you go, Corey. That was the last thing, right? Sometimes our answers don't come till the end. Sometimes we have to run this enough till the answer comes out. So, all right, guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Stay healthy. Get out of your comfort zone on purpose and you will see that the gifts that you're getting right now will probably double. I love you guys. Peace out.